Hello there. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to Mindfulness Hour. It's good to be back after a few days being gone, taking care of my little one, which fortunately this time he didn't make any fuss during these time between 5:10 and 5:40, so everything worked out really well. But it's good to be back. Nice to see you. Hi Jean. Hi Robin. Hi Caesar. Hi Tommy from Scotland. Hi Rachel. Hi Tina. Hello Sue. And hi Phoebe in Portland. Hello Magdalena in Buenos Aires. Hello Caesar. Nice to see you today. Welcome everybody. So I guess the first thing I want to start out with is just a little announcement. Is I haven't been really so happy with the recording site, or the site that I've been using to record the meditations and upload them afterwards for people who miss the meditation, who miss the live practice here on Insight Timer and want to see it somewhere else. It's not very easy to find, I think. So I'm trying today. Today will be the first day that I upload this video to a different site. So have a look on Insight Timer. You can check in my bio and the link. There's a new link inside of there. So on the when you find me on my profile, go to the About tab, and under About there's a link. You can find the new site for the recordings there. So I'm planning to spend a little bit of time to transition out of, have a time, a period of time, maybe a week where I'm, recording on both sites. And the idea is so that, you can transition and I also can transition just in case something technically goes wrong in that time. And I've got a backup. So I'm pretty excited actually to get going, because I really think this new site to me, but not a new site on the internet, is going to be it's going to be really a lot more beneficial for both me and for you. So look forward to seeing you over there as well. Hello Alejandro. Hi Cece. Hi Leslie. So today, today's mindfulness hour. So what we'll do today, as we've been spending last week a little bit on breath work, we're going to do a little bit of breath work to get going today. We'll do a little bit of fast breathing, and the fast breathing to help to wake you up, to help saturate the body with oxygen a little bit, so that you might feel a bit more focused as we get started. And then as we get into the meditation, we'll do the other kind of breathing, where we inhale naturally, and then our exhalation will be a little bit longer. So we'll do both of these. So start out with a little bit of this fast breathing to help to oxygenate the body, and then afterwards we'll do just a short period of mindfulness as we're just observing the body in its state, and then we'll move into a little bit of breath work where we're elongating the exhalation. And so this hopefully will help to relax the body. And then after we spend a bit of time doing that, we'll spend the last maybe 20 minutes or so in simply doing mindfulness practice, where we're aware of the breathing as it is without trying to change it in any way. So just as a reminder, as we've done in the intro in the days previous, just what is breath work? Why are we doing breath work? What's interesting about breath work? So one of the key things here is that the breath is one of the few things that we have access to that is both available to control consciously, but the majority of the time is something that is controlled unconsciously. So 95+% of the time in your life, you're not controlling your breath. In fact, you're probably not even aware that you're breathing. You're just going about your life, you're lost in thought, you're watching a movie, you're writing emails, you're talking to someone, you're most of the time not even aware that this process is going on, that it's simply going on in the background, and that your body is in control of the breath. And so, interestingly, we also have the ability, and most other animals do not have the ability to control the breath, but we can choose when to breathe, and we can choose how to breathe. And what's interesting about the breath and the body and the systems in the body is that, for one, when you have an emotional experience, you'll find that the breath can change related to what emotional experience is going on. So, my favorite go-to for emotional examples is anger. If I feel anger, I feel anger first welling up in my chest. I feel a tightness in my chest, maybe a little bit of burning. I feel some sensation in my face. Maybe my face starts to heat up, especially if I'm really angry. And one thing that definitely happens is that the pace of my breath increases. I breathe more quickly. I breathe more shallowly. And so this observation, so this is kind of where mindfulness can be helpful. As we observe the body as it is, the body doing what it normally and naturally does, we can see that. We can observe the breath and the pace of the breath increasing. And we can observe these other signals. And this is something that lets me know before I can recognize it cognitively that I'm feeling that emotion of anger. I can start to see those signals that I'm breathing faster. Oh, I recognize this. This breathing faster might be a signal that I'm getting angry. Oh, my face is getting warm. My chest is feeling tight. Oh, this is anger. I recognize this emotion. This is anger. I'm feeling angry. And with that early warning system of noticing anger, we can have a little bit more ability to take control. So you can, through that recognition alone, and that's really all you need. And this is where, one of the very powerful aspects of mindfulness practice. As you recognize, I'm getting angry, that recognition alone is already enough to create a little bit of space between yourself and your emotion so that you can start to see, okay, because I'm angry, maybe I should consider the next actions I'm about to take. What actions am I going to take? Is it because of my anger, or am I thinking clearly through my actions and what I'm about to do? And so that acknowledgement of anger alone is enough, or whatever strong emotion it might be, is enough for you to begin to change what the next steps are. So this is the noticing the breath in the unconscious state. So what's interesting, as we've chatted about breath work, is that you can, in fact, so not only does your emotional state change your breath, but your breath can change your emotional state. So these two things are linked up and inseparable. So this is where breath work can be so useful, is that you can use your breath to affect your emotions, and to affect the state of the body in general. So one of the techniques that we used a few days ago was box breathing. So box breathing is, it's like a square, right? Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds. And so this kind of box breathing can be done anytime we feel some strong emotional state coming on. It can be particularly useful when we say anxiety approaching. And anxiety can be noticed just like anger, just like any emotion. You can feel, what does anxiety feel like? And for me, one of the telltale signs of anxiety is a kind of like a sick feeling in my stomach, right about here. So when you see that coming up, you can already start to recognize that it's happening. And I mean, if you're like me, anxiety isn't usually rational. And so, instead of going down the rabbit hole of anxious thinking, the moment that you see it, oh, anxiety is coming, what can I do to potentially have some positive effect on this state? So one, the awareness of it by itself is already making progress towards getting it under control. But number two, then maybe it's time to try a technique like breath work. Maybe it's time to try box breathing. So box breathing can be very helpful in focusing the mind and holding us in the present in times when we may kind of careen off into the future and think about something that could potentially go wrong in the future. So coming back, using breath work to hold us in the present moment, and then having the breath under control. Another symptom of anxiety it tends to be that fast breath. The pace of the breathing increases, the heart rate increases. So today's practice will have two different phases. So the first phase we'll do a bit of the fast breathing to help to oxygenate to the body, to wake up, to help us to focus, and then afterwards we'll do this kind of elongated breathing to help to aid in relaxation. And one other thing that helps, if we have a exhalation that's longer than the inhalation, is and there's I'd say within the last 2 years the evidence in scientific journals to show that the exhalation is more closely linked to the rest and digest response of the body, the parasympathetic nervous system. So with a longer exhalation, and you can observe this yourself, can slow the heart rate down. So rest and digest is this mode of our body saying everything's okay, time for us to relax, time for us to digest our food, time for us to do maintenance on the body. There's a lot of power in and healing power in this rest and digest mode. So today, after we wake up, we're going to fully activate that mode, and then we're going to go into a period of observing the body as it is. So we're going to get started here shortly. I'm just going to have a quick look at the chat before we go. Leslie asks about 5, 7, 8 breathing, and so unfortunately I'm not aware of 5, 7, 8 breathing. What it is. So you can write more detail in the chat. I can maybe cover it as we in the outro here today. Yeah, and Tia shares, what it is wanting to tell me is always helpful for me. Usually it's there because I need to act. And the breath, of course. Thanks for sharing, Tia. So as we get started today, we're going to do some fast breathing to begin. And I just encourage you to, if you're, you may not know that your nose is a little bit blocked. So I encourage you to get have a tissue nearby just in case you discover that your nose is a bit more blocked than you think it is. We're going to do 3 rounds. Each set of rounds we're going to be increasing the number of reps. You may feel tired. This is an exercise. We're going to be exercising the diaphragm as we get started here. So just do it as best you can. When we finish this round of our breath work, just relax and breathe normally. We'll take a little bit of rest between each set. So we'll do the first set's going to be 70 reps. The next will be 80 reps. The last set will be 90 reps, and then we'll move into the core part of our practice today. So get your tissues handy. And just a description of how this works is it's just going to be fast breathing. You're going to use your diaphragm to exhale quickly. So the diaphragm moves up, it decreases the space up here and compress, and the lungs will compress as and air comes out, right? So we exhale, and then the way to inhale is just to relax. So as you relax, the diaphragm will just naturally snap back to its neutral position. So forceful exhale, diaphragm snaps back to neutral, and then forceful exhale. So let me demonstrate here for a short period, and then we'll get into the practice. So I'm just going to do 10 reps for you. So that's about what it sounds like. That's approximately the pace. So I have my lips closed. I'm doing the inhalation and the exhalation through both nostrils. And that's if both nostrils are clear, so no worries if you can't do it through both nostrils. And potentially you could do it through the mouth, but this, you can get a bit lightheaded doing it this way. I would encourage you to try to do it through the nose and through the nostrils. So here we go. We're about to start the breath work in 3, 2, 1. Just come back to natural pace. And now we're going to do 80 reps. So sitting in a way that allows the tummy to be free so that it can move freely. Beginning 80 reps in 3, 2, 1. And relax. Just come back to your natural pace once again. And now we'll do 90 reps. Beginning in 3, 2, 1. So relaxing, letting the breath come back to natural pace once again. And now coming into your meditation posture, if you weren't already. So coming into a posture that is conducive for relaxation and alertness. I would encourage you to bring your back away from the backrest. Sit in a way that your knees can be slightly lower than your hips. So let's take stock in the body and the mind. How are we doing here today? Maybe stretching out. Rolling the shoulders if you like. Just doing whatever you'd like to do to prepare the body for this period of stillness. So sitting up straight can help to create this natural curvature in the lumbar spine. Now, this is the reason the hips are slightly higher than the knees, so that there is no tension in the back. You can sit here completely relaxed. We're sitting up straight so that we maintain that alertness and you don't tend to fall asleep as easily. So let's just take stock for a moment in how we are here. What's the state of the mind? How's the body feel? Is the body relaxed or is it tense? So just noticing the crown of the head, the face, the back of the head, the chin, the jaw, are the teeth touching? Are they clenched? See if you can just separate your bottom teeth away from the top just ever so slightly, keeping the lips closed, breathing through the nose. Notice the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the hands, the upper back, the lower back, the chest. Maybe feeling how the chest moves with the breath. The belly. Also noticing the movement of the belly as you breathe. The pelvis, the legs, and the feet. So bring attention now to the fact that you are breathing. Can you notice what it feels like to be breathing? Can you be aware of the full inhalation and the full exhalation? And what about the space between the inhalation and the exhalation? Can you become aware of that? What about the space between the exhalation and the inhalation? So noticing these actual physical sensations of breath. The rising up, the expansion of the belly as you breathe in. The collapsing back, the falling away as you breathe out. So here we are, sitting in stillness, doing nothing but breathing. And so now we're going to begin our period of this relaxation breath work. So I'm going to ask you just to count the number of seconds that you find for your in-breath. And it doesn't need to be exact seconds, just counting. As you breathe in, 2, 3, breathe out, 2, 3. In, 2, 3. Out, 2, 3. Or maybe your breath is shorter. It's in, 2, out, 2. In, 2, out, 2. So it doesn't matter your pace of breath. It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever it is. Just counting the natural pace of your own breath right now. So we're allowing our body to breathe without controlling the breath at this moment. Just becoming aware of the pace of the inhalation and the pace of the exhalation. And as you notice that, as you start counting, do you find yourself, wow, it's like I'm controlling my breath now? Do you find it difficult to resist that desire to control your breath as you count the inhalation and the exhalation? So see if you can let go of control for now. Let your body breathe and observe. Use the counting to notice the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale. And now we're going to begin to elongate the exhale. So let's say, for example, your inhalation, you're counting to 3. So we're just going to add 2 seconds to the exhalation. So we'll allow the inhalation to be natural and control the exhalation. So we exhale just a little bit more slowly than our inhalation. So it's in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or maybe for you the breath is shorter. It's in, 2, out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, out, 2, 3, 4. So whatever you're counting for your inhalation, for the exhalation, you simply add 2. And there's no correct pace of breath. The pace of your breath is the way that it is right now. So just let your inhalation be as natural as possible. Just counting whatever, wherever it is. In, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you may notice as you continue doing this breath work, the natural pace of your inhalation may start to elongate. So maybe now it's in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it doesn't matter if your breath is changing, it's getting longer, maybe it's even getting shorter. So just letting the inhalation be how it is, and with the exhalation just adding to, and observing how you're changing over time. If the breath changes, if the pace of the inhalation changes, just also adjust the pace of the exhalation to be 2 seconds longer than the inhalation. So we'll continue this for a few minutes to see what may happen. So we'll continue for a few more minutes with this, counting the natural inhalation and then adding 2 seconds to the exhalation. So keep it up, you're doing great. And now let's transition out of this time of counting our breath and just let go of it completely. So let the body breathe naturally. So stop the counting and just come back to feeling that rising and falling of the belly as you breathe. The air moving in and out of the nostrils as you breathe, just focusing completely on those physical sensations and letting go of any counting that might be happening in your mind. And noticing the quality of the breath, the quality of the attention, the quality of the state of mind, the quality of the state of emotions. And at this point, maybe your mind wanders away. You start thinking about what you need to do next, or start daydreaming. Anytime you notice that mind wandering, just as best you can, acknowledge that it's happened. Let go and come back to observing these physical sensations of breath. So keep it up. You're doing great. We're almost there. So now the time has come for us to begin to draw our practice to its close, but before we do, I'd just like to invite you to take a moment to congratulate yourself for having made it through today's practice. So well done, and remember that doing practices like this regularly is a way for you to take a more active role in your own physical and mental health. So keep it up and maybe set some intention to keep doing practices like this. So we'll close practice today with 3 rings of the bell. After the sound of the 3rd bell subsides from your awareness completely, then feel free to begin to move your body, maybe starting by wiggling your fingers and toes. Right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining me and joining each other here today. As always, it's a pleasure for me to lead in this practice. So how was it for you today? So feel free to write in the chat what came up for you. Something interesting you'd like to share. You are probably not alone in your experience. So we have 100 people here today. So likely whatever you're experiencing is probably not something that's unique to you. There's probably someone else who may have had an experience, so sharing can help other people who are here. Thanks, Jean. Yeah, challenging workout today. Yeah, it was. It was maybe designed to be so. So I'm happy that you're at least able to have the time to try it out and see how it goes and see what happens. Explore this space. As for me, I found my breath it naturally begins to elongate. That I find that when I'm doing that longer exhale, eventually it opens up and makes my inhale longer. Then my exhale gets even longer. It feels relaxing, but it feels focusing for me as well. So please write in chat. What was it like for you? Thanks, Chris. Great to have you here. And welcome everybody. And again, you don't have to comment in the chat. I'm very happy to have everybody here, whether you're active in the chat or you're just here listening and participating in the meditation. It's really wonderful to have you here. Jay, always great to practice. Alejandro, thanks for sharing. I was extremely aware of my emotions, so I had to consciously notice, be aware, and allow myself to be. Focused on my breathing definitely helped. Thank you, Alejandro, for sharing. Jean shares, my impatient monkey mind took me everywhere. And me too. It was, although I have to say that the counting was helpful in staying focused. And we've talked about that in previous sessions about, ways to stay focused. Sometimes we can find counting can be really useful in that, but to know that staying focused and staying completely present isn't always the main purpose of the meditation, that there's a lot of power in seeing our distractions and understanding our distractions as well. So don't think that staying focused and being, having a blank mind is not the goal of meditation. Just so you know that it's okay to have mind wandering. And in fact, when you notice your mind wandering, this is really such a powerful exercise in being more in control of your own attention. And wow, attention is just in such a such a premium these days, right? I mean, that's what everybody's trying to get. Everybody's trying to get our attention, and that's what advertisers pay big money for your attention. So where you put your attention is big business. So I'm gonna looking back in the chat here. Yeah, Key shares, I often find the fast breathing more stressful. And yes, it is. It's designed to wake you up, but just like when you're stressed, the pace of your breath increases. Similarly, when we're doing that breath work, it will energize the body, and it can cause feelings of stress. But it's not, the idea isn't to make it's supposed to be like good stress, not the cortisol releasing stress. So thanks for sharing, Key. Tina shares, I appreciated the active breath work before settling into silence. Thanks so much, Tina. Jean shares, first all kinds of distractions, then it's hard to observe my breath while counting, resisting the urge to control my breath. Thank you. Yes, and Key again adds on that the faster breathing is more stressful than the slower one, and it really is designed to be this way. The slow ones are designed to release stress and to help us to slow down and to let go of stressful feelings that we might have, and let go of these stronger emotions. Whereas the fast breathing is there to help to energize us, to help us to get focused before we go and sit in our meditation. Sue shares, thank you, Ryan. Really liked this practice, struggled to begin, but became more focused and relaxed. Thank you, Sue, for sharing. Zia shares, when noticing the space between the inhale and the exhale and vice versa, I found myself getting emotional. I too was distracted at times, but overall a great experience. Thanks, Zia. Thanks for sharing. I think that's really cool. I like it when it's so interesting sometimes when emotions like kind of show up out of nowhere, or and what caused it. Not that we have to investigate as to the cause of all of these emotions, but sometimes it's bringing that detailed awareness to these little things in life can just help us appreciate life. Breath is so essential to life, right? It's something that you do every few seconds, right? And this is part of being alive. It's something to be treasured, and I think we sometimes forget to treasure each breath and to treasure being alive. Jean shares, finally stepping outside myself to observe myself breathing. And then my monkey mind sat down next to me while I was outside of myself. I love that. That's a great imagery. Thank you, Jean. Okay, we're gonna close up here soon. Just wanted to say once again that I've been having recordings, and I do have recordings of all of my daily practices here. So if you want to revise, you want to go back and see anything, those recordings are available. And I'm beginning to switch over to another site, which will hopefully be better. The quality of the recordings, the quality of the sound will be better. The ease at finding the recordings should be better. So hopefully everything's all around better. You can, if you don't know where that is, you can go to my profile on the About tab. There's a link that shows you where those are. So you can check it out. I do hope you will check it out, especially as I get that new site up and running. It will be helpful to have your support. So the more people that find it now, the easier it's going to be for more people to find it later. So please have a look and add that to your repertoire, or your list of things for watching. So so join me there, and And if you ever miss any of these and you want to come back and revise, you can come check them out. One more plan that I have for those recording site is I'm planning to go back to all of my old recordings and re-release them in the order. So you'll get to see like me at the very beginning. I've been doing this daily practice for about 2.5 years now. So you'll get to see me at the beginning as I fumble through and get started. So if you're curious, I'll start maybe in the next couple weeks figuring out how to upload those so you can enjoy those too. Thanks everybody. Thank you, Alejandro, for your donation. Absolutely. Key's asking, can we add a friend who passed away if we are dedicating merits? Absolutely. Let's do that. And so let's close practice that way, like we always do. My heart's there for you and for Andrew Key. So let's share our merits out with everyone. Starting with self. May I be happy and peaceful. May all of you watching, listening, wherever you are, I wish you all happiness and peace. And may all beings, all sentient life around the world, around the universe, known and unknown, alive or not alive, even those yet to be born, I wish them all happiness and peace. Thank you, everyone. Be well. I'll be back on Monday morning Singapore time, so that may be Sunday evening for some of you, doing a series on beginner's mind, Zen mind, beginner's mind, and some of the words of Shunryo Suzuki, the founder of the San Francisco Zen Center. It's got a lot of really great little quotes. So I'm going to be spending the next week walking through some of that and kind of disassembling those quotes and how they apply to our lives and how they apply to our mindfulness practice. So look forward to seeing you then. Until then, bye.